Tangent is about to duck back into engineering when you approach. She winces and she shields her eyes from the sun. She looks at you miserably, and you notice that her right eye is glowing faintly.
It's my new hollow eye implant,
Tang says. Its ghostly glow snaps in and out of existence as she blinks.
I seem to be experiencing some unpleasant side effects from it, similar to that of an ocular migraine.
Tang confesses.
Instance warned me that this level of visual information can be difficult for the human brain to comprehend at first.
You agree to follow her into engineering to get out of the sun.
It's similar to a hollow palm,
She explains, still holding her forehead and squinting.
but with an infinitely large screen because it projects directly into the oculus. It used to belong to Dr. Instance, but she passed it down to me to help with my work.
I'm sure you'll get used to it soon. Tang sets her jaw and nods, determined.
I know I will. It's only pain. It's more than an implant.
Tang continues as you follow her to the medbay labs.
Hollow eyes are on the very forefront of human augmentation. They represent our next steps towards ascending as a species.
She touches the red scar where her hollow palm used to be.
No more clunky screens, no privacy concerns.
She says, quietly.
Elegant, integrated design. It observes the motion of my hands and uses it to generate an AR interface for my entire field of vision. It's partly powered by my own metabolism through the magnets embedded in my skull. It's beautiful.
Nobody else is here. You hear the gentle hum of the experiments running in their corner.
This kind of technology is so far beyond what we're capable of reproducing in the colony.
Tang sighs, rubbing her temple under the implant.
Once they're gone, they're gone. Maybe Earth will send us a shipment of new ones someday. But I expect they've developed something more advanced since we left Earth. I suppose it's more likely they've forgotten about us completely.
The quiet hum of the laboratory is shattered by an alarm. Tang jumps at the sudden noise and shuts her eyes tight.
I have to get this.
She mutters, gesturing in the air to silence the ring.
The simulation I'm running is time-sensitive.
She explains.
The specimens require minute changes to their environment every 2 hours. Temperature, humidity, light levels.
She grimaces.
If we had better automation, this wouldn't be a problem.
I could do it. Tangent considers this.
Yes, you have proven yourself trustworthy in the lab.
She says.
It's experiment 2A, on the wall there.
She slumps down on the floor beside you, resting her head on her arms.
Go tell me what you see, and I will walk you through it.
With Tang's assistance, you set the new environmental parameters for her experiment, which seems to involve fungal growths of some kind. It's unfamiliar to you, but you're able to follow Tang's instructions easily. While you're looking over some of the specimens, you realize that you could make improvements to Tang's modeling. Return to Tang. You think better of messing with Tang's experiment. Tang breathes a sigh of relief when you return.
That should buy me 2 more hours.
Tang shifts over, wordlessly inviting you to sit down beside her. Her arm is cool to the touch as it rests against yours. Tang turns to you.
Thank you for your assistance.
It was nothing. Tang gives you a slight smile, barely visible in the faint glow of her hollow eye.
Then, thanks for nothing, I suppose.
She says.
Please don't tell Instance that my body is adjusting poorly to the hollow eye.
She adds.
It's only temporary. The stupid flesh prison is not allowed to draw the limits of my form.
Instance shows you how to implant a hormone regulator, birth control, acne cure, and mood stabilizer all in one. You got yours after you hit puberty, and there are still a few kids in the colony that are waiting to get theirs. You roll out of bed at noon, because you're allowed to, because it's your birthday, but also because you're exhausted. You barely slept at all last night. You've been having these nightmares since the siege, more and more every night, like they're trying to tell you something urgent. You can't make any sense of it. All the imagery is jumbled together. All these possibilities and timelines and things that might happen. Some nights you wake up in a cold sweat, a scream already in your throat. You sit on the edge of your bed, run a hand through your hair, and check your holopalm. A few people wished you happy birthday, but that's all. You guess you're getting older. Birthdays aren't as important as they used to be. Right. And Marz wants to meet you for lunch in the lounge today. You'll have to practice your smile. Go meet Marz for lunch. As you enter the lounge, surprise! You do your very best to play along and act surprised. Woo, streamers, balloons. Great. All of your friends are standing around, wearing goofy hats and clapping. Nomi is holding a bunch of balloons larger than they are, and Rex is wearing a cute little waiter's outfit with a bow tie. You accept their hugs and birthday wishes, trying to hide your exhaustion and demurring with a few pointed. All this for me? You shouldn't have. No, really. Rex wanders around with a tray full of little snacks, offering them to everyone with a vampy accent and a silly, airheaded giggle. The goofball act chips away at the natural awkwardness of a surprise party. That is, the first 5 minutes after everyone shouts surprise, and soon everyone is laughing and enjoying themselves. Despite your exhaustion, you start to smile too. Your friends are so amazing, and they're all here because they care about you. Then, you get some unexpected guests. The lounge begins to fill with Helio kids, mostly ones you don't know, ones who usually keep to themselves and, well, don't much like you original stratospheric kids. Vace and Moni are with them, his arm draped over her shoulders. Moni gives you a little wave of acknowledgement for your birthday, which earns a weird look from Vace.
Hey, who invited you guys?
Cal says, stepping forward with his hands clenched.
This is a private party.
It's a public lounge.
Vace replies.
We can sit wherever we want.
Cal stomps right into the midst of the Helios.
You guys think that just because you fell out of the sky you're the wormhole's gift of Autumna?
He spits out.
We don't need you. We never needed you. All you do is make things worse. Like this party.
You've rarely seen Cal so ready for a fight. He doesn't seem to care that the body language of the Helio kids has changed from cocky to dangerous.
You're just a bunch of fascists.
Cal continues.
You and Lum.
The lounge erupts, chairs screeching across the floor as the Helios jump to their feet yelling at Cal, calling the colony illegal and Cal a fugitive. They jostle him around, but Cal plants his feet and stands his ground. You hear a bottle breaking and see someone advancing on Cal. He's not backing down. Moni, make them stop!
Hey, come on, guys. Cut it out.
Moni says, tiredly.
It's Soul's birthday. Don't make it a big thing.
They seem to respect her, so they back down. But not before a few parting libelous shots at Cal's parentage and alleged action with animals. She turns to Cal and pokes her finger in his chest.
You provoked them on purpose.
She says angrily.
I'm not your friend anymore. Don't ask me to stick up for you if you're being an asshole.
Well,
Marz exclaims, clapping her hands.
that was enough excitement, I think. Let's move on to the important part. Cake and presents.
Under Marz's skillful party hosting hand, the mood shifts back to festive. You enjoy your presents and your cake, but tensions boiling over like that is a bad omen for the rest of the year. waves at you from the garden, then rises to his feet. It's almost comforting to see that. Despite everything, he's still the same old Cal who likes to play in the mud.
Hey, Sol.
He calls to you.
What's going on?
You spot Rex lying in his makeshift hammock, and he's not alone. He shushes you as you approach, placing a finger to his lips and indicating that the person snuggled up under his arm is fully asleep.
Hold on to the hammock,
he whispers.
I'm gonna try to get out.
Between the two of you, you manage to get Rex out of the hammock without waking his sleeping friend. Rex looks a little tousled and kiss-bitten, and his eyes are bright with mischief.
Tired him right out.
He murmurs, pleased with himself.
What you need, Soul?
I got you a present. Rex shoots you a shy smile.
Nothing a dog likes more than a stick, right?
Surveyor Tonin found blepgrass shortly after the colony landed on Vertumna. The waxy violet grass grows almost everywhere near the colony, and when you steep its roots, you get a deep purple tea. It tastes horrible, grassy and bitter, but it's a stimulant and mildly hallucinogenic, so the adults think it's great. They've been drinking it for years, with no ill effects except for an overwhelming urge to stick your tongue out and say bleh when you taste it. You've been trying to cultivate new variants that don't taste as awful, or have more potent stimulant or hallucinogenic properties. Maybe you'll even find some entirely new medical usage. You're ready to test a new strain. Tangent would probably appreciate a better stimulant, and Cal would appreciate a nicer trip. Who will be your test subject? Try it yourself. You brew yourself up a cup of tea. Blech. Ugh. You really didn't do anything to improve the taste. A few hours later, you notice that you feel more open to creative vibrations of the universe. Like anything you imagine could become real. You just have to get the right resonant frequency of the molecules. That's the trick. You scribble out some notes. A few hours after that, you take a look at your notes. Well, luckily, no one else needs to see those. Because the medbay connects to the genetics lab, Tangent is often nearby working on her own projects here. She doesn't like to make small talk. In fact, she often seems to dislike when you're working in medbay. She's always been a bit aloof, but she's becoming more like the chief engineer every day. One day, you arrive to find Tangent watching Instance work at a medbay. Utopia, seated in the bed with her bloody mangled leg raised, waves cheerfully at you.
Oh good, you're here.
Instance mutters, peeling off her gloves and stepping away from the medbed.
I've already set the bone. Just babysit the monitor while it works.
Your eyes are drawn to the carnage that is Utopia's leg. It's super gross. So bad you can see the bone, and the pulsing of the muscles of her leg. The insides of our bodies should stay inside. Tang is watching intently. Ask Utopia how it happened.
What, this?
Utopia asks, slapping her thigh.
Oh, the usual. It's like the third time I've broken a leg since we landed, though this one's probably the worst.
She laughs, trailing off into a sigh.
Glider accidents.
She shrugs.
Those things are fun, but boy, howdy are they dangerous. I just love the speed, though.
Utopia pats the medbed fondly.
Good old medbed here forgives me, don't you, girl? I'll be up and walking by dinner. Bodies are always changing, you know.
Utopia waxes poetic as the medbed's anti-pain field starts to make her drowsy.
You ain't the same person you was born as, and who knows who you'll be in 20 more years. Mind and body always making themselves anew. Nature is change.
Tangent perks up and she takes her eyes off the leg to look up at Utopia's face.
Our bodies are exactly as we want them, Utopia,
She says with pride.
They didn't match the women we were inside, so we changed them. Nature isn't what changed us.
She raises her chin defiantly.
Science changed us. Genetech changed us.
And in 20 more years, we'll still be exactly who we want to be and nobody else.
Utopia just chuckles sleepily at this as her lids droop and she starts to snore. Cal waves at you from the garden, then rises to his feet. It's almost comforting to see that, despite everything. He's still the same old Cal who likes to play in the mud.
Hey, Soul.
He calls out to you.
What's going on?
Let's get out of here. Cal beams.
Yeah, of course. I can always make time for you.
Back to your quarters. Cal reaches over his head and stretches, and you hear all the bones in his back pop.
Whew,
He says, slumping inward like his strings have been cut.
I'm beat up. How about you? What if we go back to yours and trade back rubs? I'll even do you first.
You and Cal adjourn to your quarters where, true to his word, Cal gives you a truly thorough massage before he even makes a move to take off his own shirt.
Good?
He murmurs, kissing your shoulder blade. It is good. Cal's hands are strong and calloused in just the right ways. You flop over and show off your noodle arms, and Cal laughs.
I can wait.
He says, wrapping his own arms around you and kissing you, as slow and indulgent as his hands were. Rex is surveying an empty lot with a critical eye.
There's still a lot of potential here.
He says thoughtfully, tapping something into his hollow palm.
Maybe an elder care home? One day, hopefully, we'll be lucky enough to have old folks. And it makes sense to have it right in the middle of the colony.
He gestures his hollow palm away and turns to you with a smile.
Gotta think about the future if we're still expecting we got one.
I got you a present. Rex howls with happiness as he takes the mushwood from you.
You remembered my birthday and brought me the perfect stick for my collection.
Cal works nearby in the fields and the geoponics homes, so it's easy to spend time with him during the day. He pops by to talk about plants, make sure you've eaten lunch, and sneak a few kisses before it's time to go back to work. Everyone just kinda jokes that you're gonna end up like your parents, the farmer and the biologist. Cal just smiles and blushes. He doesn't care what other people think. He just loves you. You don't like to see Cal in the med bay, but it is nice to see them at work. You just hope they never come in for anything more serious than a paper cut. Cal often stops by the kitchens to sneak a kiss and a snack. You guess that's one of the benefits of dating someone who works in the kitchen. Moni is watching some of the other soldiers practicing their hand-to-hand combat.
Man,
She says,
I hope we never actually have to do that. Seems like a bad idea.
"Here, I got something for you."
Cool, thanks!
Moni says, taking the egg.
I guess it is my birthday this week. I kinda forgot.
You were supposed to meet Moni for lunch, but she didn't show up. You head to the garrison to see if you can find her. You spot Moni's shock of red hair over by the close-range fighting ring. As you approach, she finishes a flurry of blows with a roundhouse kick that almost knocks the training dummy's head clear off.
Yeah!
Moni roars, echoing off the vaulted ceiling of the garrison. Moni steps back from the ring and pulls up the bottom of her shirt to wipe her face, flashing you a glimpse of her muscular stomach and the blue-green scaling that dances over her ribcage and down her hips. Her skin shines with sweat under the harsh lights. You catch her eye and she shoots you a smile, as quick and bright as the sun glinting off a metal roof before it disappears behind her usual bleak expression. She jogs over to you.
What are you doing here, Soul?
She brings up the time on her hollow palm, and her eyes go wide.
Oh shit, were we supposed to eat lunch together today? I'm sorry.
It's okay. You were busy.
Yeah, but that's no excuse.
Moni replies seriously.
I should have been more aware.
Moni grabs her water bottle and drinks from it, then pours the rest over her head and flicks the water through her shaved side.
We can still go get some chow if you want.
She says.
Just give me a sec.
Moni pulls an oversized sports ball sweater over her workout clothes, her thumbs popping through the holes worn into the cuffs. The lettering on the back reads, Kombucha. As you exit the garrison, you're stopped by a few of the other soldiers who all seem to want to give Moni a high five or tell her about their days. Even though she's clearly exhausted, She musters up a few heartening words for each of them.
They all know I'm dating Vace.
She says apologetically when you finally emerge into the sunlight.
It's weird. All of a sudden I'm like a hero to them too, and I haven't even done anything yet. I train every day though. Probably like 6 or 8 hours.
She says, rubbing at her shoulder and stretching it out as she walks.
It feels good to work hard. Like it just wipes out all the bad thoughts. Anything that's bothering me.
She makes an exploding motion with one hand.
It just goes away. Poof. I can't afford to lose my focus.
Moni says, solemnly.
I can't let myself get distracted. If I do that and someone dies because of it, null it, man.
She says, shaking her head.
The thought of it keeps me up at night. Sometimes I just get up and run around the colony until I'm too tired to stand. No one else is gonna die on my watch. You understand, right?
She asks, turning to you.
You work harder than anyone. How do you do it? What are you fighting for, Soul?
I'm just trying to get through it. Moni nods in solidarity.
I know how that feels.
She claps you on the shoulder.
I know what it's like to not want to think about the future, about why we're here. Joining the Defense Force gave me a purpose. I get up every morning and I think, today I'm gonna be better than yesterday. I'm ready.
Her mouth twitches into a smile before it fades again.
I know it's hard, but as long as I'm alive, you got me. I'm here for you. Rex is surveying an empty lot with a critical eye.
There's still a lot of potential here.
He says thoughtfully, tapping something into his hollow palm.
Maybe an elder care home? One day, hopefully we'll be lucky enough to have old folks. And it makes sense to have it right in the middle of the colony.
He gestures his hollow palm away and turns to you with a smile.
Gotta think about the future if we're still expecting we got one.
Hugs incoming. Rex opens his arms wide.
Coach, I'm open!
He laughs, catching you as you throw yourself into his arms. He spins you around and growls into your neck, squeezing you tightly. It's a good hug, the kind that makes you instantly just a little more relaxed. One of your experiments goes a little wild and Congruence has to slam up the safety containment controls to lock you inside the lab. Scary. Luckily, it's a false alarm. Just some weird spores you accidentally unleashed when you cut into a seed pod. You analyze them and determine that they don't pose a risk to the rest of geoponics. This year, Governor Lum's ascension to the Vertumnalia stage is heralded by an entire military band, their instruments shiny and nanoprinted new. They march out of command in formation, splitting and forming a phalanx at the foot of the stage as Lum takes his place before you. Spotlights turn on with heavy ka-chunk noises, illuminating Lum in a halo of floating dust particles. He spreads his arms wide.
Hello, Vertumna!
His voice booms over the speakers.
Are we winning or what?
The reaction is mixed. You look around. It's easy to see the ones cheering the loudest are Helios and people who fully adopted their mentality, like Moni. The Stratos are more reserved, some even silent. Security Chief Red is one of them. his usual stony expression hiding his true feelings. Regardless, there's enough cheering that Lum has to wait for it to die down before he continues.
We're killing it out there, people.
He exclaims.
Every day, we claw a little more territory from the savage aliens of this planet.
A potato pod arcs through the air and lands with a broken splort at Lum's feet, splattering him with juice. You don't see who threw it, but the faction from Geoponics is looking restless. They begin to jeer and stomp their feet. Lum continues on, raising his fist.
Those Xenos attacked us first! And now they're learning. Don't mess with humankind.
The crowd is now evenly split between cheering and booing. The Stratos are agitated, and you hear calls for things to return how they were, and how Lum and his soldiers are killing the planet. Even the council, lined up before the stage and facing the crowd, looks conflicted.
That ain't how it is!
Utopia turns and hollers up at Lum.
You don't even know what it's like out there. You just send folks out to die for your stupid war.
Utopia hops on stage and routes her own here speak through the speakers.
He's lying!
She yells bitterly.
This year, we lost 2 surveyors in the swamps, Sorrel and Kinney. They'd be alive today if Lum hadn't sent them to clear out a Manicore den for no good reason.
She jams her finger against the governor's chest.
The only threat to our colony here is you.
Lum's smile doesn't change, but his eyes go cold. He snatches Utopia's hand and calmly, slowly crushes her holopalm crystal with his thumb. You can hear the crunch of the bones of her hand before her feet cuts. Utopia yelps as her knees buckle with pain. Her bravado gone. She holds her broken hand to her chest and is too shocked to resist when Lum shoves her off stage. The crowd is stunned into silence as well. Lum clears his throat and approaches the end of the stage, looming tall over the council.
Thank you for your input,
He says, icily.
Your concerns have been noted.
This isn't the buffoon Lum presents on his daily holovids, or the nuisance he is when he visits a work site. You see something in his eyes you've only caught glimmers of before. Hatred.
You Stratos are lucky we didn't crush you under our boots and take your colony by force.
He sneers.
Before we got here, this colony was doomed. You're only alive because I was merciful. Just a bunch of burned out hippie fugitives. What was your plan for surviving out here? Wishful thinking? Singing songs and talking to animals?
Laughter ripples through the Helios.
You
He gestures to the council, then jerks his thumb at his chest.
need us, not the other way around. I'm done pretending I need to listen to your opinions. If you want to live, you'll do what I say.
He stares at Dr. Instance, who glares up at him with hate in her eyes as she tends to Utopia's hand.
Maybe it's time to clean house.
He threatens.
We need team players here. Ones who share one vision for the future of Vertumna.
After a few tense moments, Seeq clears their throat.
Sir, shall I continue with the traditional formalities now?
Lum scowls down at Seeq, then throws his hands in the air.
Whatever. Do it if it makes you feel better. You're all cowards.
He turns and walks off the stage, his marching band scrambling to follow him with his exit song. As promised, there are no contests this year, but there's plenty of food and alcohol. As the sun begins to set, the Helios, including Vace and Moni, head straight for it and look ready to party into the night. The other teams seem a little less at ease. Dis, quite predictably, has already left. Hang out with the Stratos.
No, I totally get it.
Rex says to Cal as you approach.
They didn't used to be this mean. Sure, we all joked about how, we'd find you guys rubbing sticks together in the dirt after your nanotech broke down, but it wasn't like this.
He jerks his thumb towards Vace and his group of friends, who've wrangled themselves a live trippet and are skewing it to roast over a bonfire. You can hear its dying squeals from here, and as night falls, smell the sweet, charred scent of it cooking.
No, they've always kind of been like this.
Nomi shakes their head.
Just like total human supremacists. see something you don't understand.
Nomi makes laser guns with her fingers.
Pew pew! All gone. Want something someone else has? Pew pew! All yours.
They lean back on their hands and look up at the night sky. In dust, the wormhole looks so peaceful and far away.
I used to think me and Rex were like changelings. Like aliens beamed in and replaced 2 human babies with weirdos.
I don't think you're weird.
Cal says, eyes wide.
I think it's really great you two don't act like Helios.
We are Helios, though.
Rex replies, and Nomi nods.
And some people dancing around that bonfire are Stratos. It's not about how you were raised.
It's about the choices you make.
Nomi finishes.
No one is just a good person or a bad person. Only bad people think they always make the right choices.
The dancing and feasting continues well into the night while you pass the time with your friends in the peaceful faction, knowing that the whole colony isn't into being soldiers and fighting Lum's war on nature makes you feel less alone. But you can't stop thinking about the governor's eye as he crushed Utopia's hand today. So long as he's in charge, does it matter what anyone else wants? The week after Vertumnalia is one of the hottest since you landed. You're supposed to take time off for a much-needed break, but it's just so humid and awful, and tempers are short. Shortly after the festival, you start seeing graffiti cropping up everywhere. It seems that a lively, if not particularly civil conversation between the two factions is being held on the flat surfaces of the colony. Lum announces a zero-tolerance policy for political graffiti, but you notice that not every tag is being removed, just the ones against the war, of course. The atmosphere of the colony is oppressive, as thick as the choking dust heat itself. Everywhere you try to relax, people just want to talk about the war. To make matters worse, the sweltering nights are making your nightmares intense again. You return to work feeling more stressed than before. Nomi is sitting in front of an array of holo screens, all displaying different tutorials for various crafts and hobbies.
I was thinking of learning something new.
Nomi says, poking their finger into their cheek.
It's not enough that I already know how to draw and write and play video games. I could learn to knit, or sculpt, or make jewelry.
They think about this for a second.
I know we can just nanoprint stuff like that, but it's nice to make stuff with your hands, right?
I have a present for you.
Ooh!
Nomi exclaims, making grabby hands at the pretty crystal.
Happy birthday to me! I can't believe you remembered! Thank you!
Nomi is camped out in the lounge, their holopad screens spread out before them, like a drawing table. In another screen, there's a collection of photos of a manticore. Nomi looks between the two screens, their brow furrowed in concentration, as they scribble directly onto the screen with a stylus. What are you doing?
Well,
Nomi replies, thoughtfully.
I wanted to write an illustrated story about aliens, like Interpical Hyperdrive Transform, except using the Xenos here in Vertumna, like manticores and faceless and stuff, but they can talk, and instead of attacking the colony, they help people instead.
That sounds cool.
Thanks!
Nomi chirps, scribbling happily at their drawing.
You know, the one where the Medusa demons show up and the aliens and the Tubercles have to band together to defeat their common enemy?
I remember that part. Nomi looks up at you with a start.
Oh!
They exclaim.
That reminds me! So, I'm trying to brush up on my xenoanatomy, and I'm totally fine with writing, but...
They blow out a big breath, ruffling their bangs.
I kinda haven't been here long enough to make sure it feels right. You know? To make it go pop! And I want to make sure I'm being, sensitive about stuff I don't know a lot about. So I was wondering, Could you help me with some of the world building?
Well, I can try. You spend an enjoyable afternoon helping Nomi with their story. When you're done, they give you a big hug and thank you profusely for your help. The garden is a peaceful place, but you don't have to think about how the colony is always simmering about being at war against the creatures of Vertumnus. You can just sit and empty your mind, smelling the sweet perfume of flowers and listening to the wind rustle the green grass. It's one place to find peace, even when it feels like everyone else is losing their minds. Cal is sitting cross-legged on top of the gardening shed, his face turned towards the sun. He cracks open one eye when he realizes you're watching him.
I like to spend a little time every day communing with the planet,
He says, smiling down at you.
I think it's kind of important to think about why we're here and what we're doing, you know?
I found something you might like.
Oh, wow! That looks delicious!
Cal exclaims.
Thanks for the birthday gift, Saul. You know I love to eat.
You spot Rex carrying supplies and big pieces of wood into a huge tarped-up section at the end of the lounge. He waves at you. Well, as much as a wave as he can do with his arms full of mushwood.
Hey, Sol!
He calls out to you.
Have you come to see the bar?
You give him a questioning look. The bar? You don't know Rex super well. You've never heard anything about a bar. He gestures to the tarps.
My bar!
He says.
I've been working on a special project ever since I joined the construction crew. The colony needed a place to cut loose, you dig?
He looks up at it, beaming with pride.
I think it's about halfway done.
You take a look back at what you can see. Rex has kept it all pretty well tarped up, and hates letting people inside to peep, but you can tell it's big. Perhaps a little too big. Ambitious, maybe, for a first solo construction project. But Rex has had a lot of help from his crew, and from the whole colony. You'd have to be able to find enough wood. I'm sure it'll be great. Rex comes over to you and slings you into a one-armed hug.
Just seeing you makes me super energized,
he says.
I can almost hear the music now. That's right, the bar's gonna have live music. You know anyone who plays an instrument? I'm gonna work double time to finish this place. If you wanna help, bring me all the mushwood you can find.
You're cleaning the medbeds when an explosion rocks the ship. Shockwaves reverberate through the walls, sending all of the lab instruments clinking and causing the Strato's busted-up skeleton to groan around you.
What the?
Instance says, cut off by the sound of the fire alarm. Within minutes, the medbay is carefully controlled chaos. An explosion in one of the engineering labs has hurt 5 people, but you only have 2 medbeds. You and Instance triage the wounded, getting the 2 worst-off patients into the medbeds and doing what you can for the others.
What did you expect?
Instance yells at the one she's working on as she ties a tourniquet. As chief engineer, she probably feels defensive.
You need to be more careful working around this old tech.
The engineer you're assigned to help looks pale. Even though the burn on his leg isn't serious, he's sweating. But his skin is cold and clammy to the touch. You tell Instance, who just glances over.
Some people get squeamish at the sight of their own blood. Patch him out and get him out of here. There are more serious wounds that need tending.
Take a closer look at him. As you bandage the engineer's leg, you talk to him. His breathing is hitching, and he keeps rubbing his shoulder. He's sweating a lot. You ask if he gets nervous around doctors, and he says no. But he feels strange right now and isn't sure why. On a hunch, you scan him with a heart monitor. It immediately beeps. This man is having a heart attack! You bump him into the top of the queue for the medbeds and stand back while the bed adjusts his heart rhythm. It detects a narrow artery that could cause a blockage under stress and asks if you would like to fix it now. You press yes. Wow. Easy. Dr. Instance glances at you.
Didn't I tell you to discharge?
She starts, then looks at the monitor.
Ah.
She says, momentarily humbled.
Good catch, soul.
Marz is brushing out her long, luxurious hair.
I know. It's an extravagance to have such labor-intensive hair when we technically have a war going on,
she says, making a dismissive hand gesture at the word war.
But honestly, if we don't remember to treat ourselves once in a while, what's the point? Besides,
she says, going back to brushing,
it's my duty to raise the average level of sophistication here.
I found something you might like.
Well, I've had better birthday gifts.
Marz sighs, rubbing one of the petals.
But this will look nice in my hair, I think. Thank you.
You splice cuttings of plants with various other plants, feeling like a mad scientist. Humans used to do this even before they had genetech. Just a bunch of generations of people, smashing stuff together and hoping something cool happens. You're browsing the colony bulletin board on your holocom over breakfast when you notice a new post from Nomi. It seems to be a short story. The title is Xenos to the Rescue. Ooh, boy. You open the story and read through it. Actually, you think you and Nomi did okay. Sure, the premise of talking manticores is a little shaky, and Nomi doesn't really spend enough time establishing the character's motivations, but it's still an entertaining read. You scroll through the comments and they're mostly supportive, if a little lukewarm. Except for one.
LMAO, this sucks! Shadow suck my sweaty balls sack!
Vace looks exasperated at your presence.
Hey, it's Rex's little buddy,
he says, scowling.
Get out of here before I have to send him a message about how I don't want his little gang of dickwits stinking up my garrison.
He cracks his knuckles.
You are not going to like my choice of medium.
Here, I have something for you. Vace cracks a small smile when he sees your gift.
Birthday cake?
He asks incredulously.
Do you think I'm a child? Am I supposed to blow out the candles and make a wish now?
You're sometimes called to the field to help stabilize someone before transporting them to the medbay. You've seen compound fractures, partial amputations, mangled limbs, partial paralysis. This colony is a dangerous place.
I have not seen my brother in some time.
Tang muses.
I am certain he lives, otherwise expeditions would have raised an alarm. But myself, personally?
She shrugs and goes back to examining her experiments.
I have no time to track him down and beg, through penitent tears, to be loved as a sister should be. If he wants to make amends, he knows where to find me. I'm not the one who is impossible to track down.
Here, I have something for you.
It seems you've remembered my birthday. How thoughtful of you.
Tang says, accepting the flower with a dubious look.
I'll set this flower aside to analyze later. I am interested in the properties of all Verchumnan flora.
I hope you find it useful. She turns to walk away, then remembers herself.
Thank you.
She adds, almost as an afterthought. You spot Tang heading behind the engineering wing and follow, only to find she's disappeared. Then you look up and see an access ladder leading to a maintenance platform by the engine turbines, long, silent, and starting to rust. You climb up the platform. Tang's there, lying on her back and staring at the sky. A hatch beside her leads back into engineering. That must be how she knows about this place. She doesn't acknowledge you until you're almost standing over her, your shadow fighting the overcast light. She blinks with the sluggishness of someone who's only just remembered it's a necessity, and licks her lips before she speaks.
Do they need me in there?
You shake your head, and Tang doesn't sigh in relief. Exactly. Though her eyes slip closed again.
Good.
She murmurs.
It's all too much right now. I thought...
Her mouth twitches.
I don't know what I thought. I don't know what I'm doing up here.
What's going on, Tangent? Tang huffs a small laugh and folds her hands over her stomach.
You know, I think I may be burned out. Or depressed. In Earth movies, depressed teenagers would sneak out onto the rooftops,
she says.
I confess, I don't think I see the appeal. Maybe it would be better if I had alcohol or cigarettes.
She shakes her head.
Blanking out is what my mom used to do, not me.
Do you want to talk about it? Tang smiles, self-effacing, and doesn't look at you.
I don't think so,
she says.
Maybe. Will you sit with me?
You lie down beside Tang and watch the gentle revolution of the sky for a few minutes. You can feel the caginess seep out of Tang as you lie there in silence, until finally she speaks.
Do you ever think about humanity? Humans are such a glorious, beautiful, utterly self-destructive thing.
She continues.
They only ever create by destroying, and in turn, they hasten their own demise.
Tang finally looks at you, her hollow eye lighting up her cheekbones. She looks gaunt.
It was the belief in human supremacy and unchecked innovation that dooms humankind on Earth,
she says.
Does it seem like we're going down the same path here, on Verchumna?
I believe we can do better here. Tang takes a deep breath and lets it all out.
I think so too. I just don't know how. I don't know if any of us do. We're only human. Sometimes I wonder.
She continues, then pauses.
Sometimes I wonder why we even sent humans to explore space. Given our track record, you would think. Perhaps an artificial intelligence would have been wiser. No ego to get in the way. No questions about ethics or morality. After all, we learned in Earth history that when human colonists traveled from Europe to the Americas, they nearly killed everyone who already lived there because they spread disease.
Tang looks at her hands.
I just can't help but wonder if we're doing the right thing.
The hatch to the laboratory clangs open and Tang jumps.
There you are.
Instance says, just her head and shoulders visible through the hatch.
Have you finished recalibrating the strand sequencer yet?
Tang scrambles to her feet and brushes off the seat of her pants.
No, not yet.
She says,
I was waiting on the results from BH4316 and...
Instance clicks her tongue against her teeth and raises a hand to interrupt Tang.
They're ready.
She says,
I need that sequencer ready for the G4100 samples.
Her eyes flick to you.
If you're done,
she adds, icily.
Yes, ma'am.
Tang says, cowed, and slides into the hatch after Instance, as her head disappears past the roofline. You catch a fleeting hint of an expression on her face you can't name.
Being outside the walls is incredible.
Dis says, then lets out a big sigh.
There's a freedom out there I've never felt, ever, in my whole life.
He shoulders his backpack and looks out at the wilderness.
When I'm back at the colony, all I care about is when I can get back out there again.
Does this interest you? Dis blinks owlishly at your gift.
Is it my birthday? I almost forgot. I hate it when people make a big deal about my birthday. But this is nice. Thank you.
Dan is waiting for you in the kitchen when you arrive. There's a strange new smell in the air.
Ah, you're here!
Anne says.
I wanted to tell you something before you get started today.
She gestures over to the stove, where an enormous yellow pot of stew is boiling cheerfully.
As you know, the colony was founded on vegetarian principles,
she says.
Raising animals for their meat on Earth was... well... it wasn't very nice, and it took up a lot of Earth's resources. Soil and water and feed that we couldn't bring with us on a spaceship.
You nod. Though there are animals on the ranch that produce milk or syrup or high-protein berries, you've never actually cooked meat.
Well...
Anne continues.
Humans have been eating animals for a lot longer than we've been farming them. We used to hunt animals for food and their furs. Sometimes, the ranchers have to slaughter an animal, and, well, some of the foragers.
She smiles and wafts the steam from the pot towards her nose, inhaling deeply.
Well, sometimes they bring back an animal they found out there. And it's time we start serving them in the canteen.
Anne holds up her hands, warding off your concerns.
I know you might find this idea uncomfortable. I want you to remember that this is no different than what would happen to them in the wild. Most animals are eaten by other animals. Meat is healthy and good for us,
she adds.
And we need to take advantage of every possible food source. That means, of course, we're not going to waste any part of the animal. Even the bones can be boiled to make stock.
Anne sets her hand on your shoulder.
Ask Congruence for a tutorial on butchering and preparing an animal, and follow her instructions. It needs to be cooked to a certain temperature to make sure it's safe to eat. I've already started the stew to save you some time,
she says.
While it's simmering, you can start on learning what you'll need to know for tomorrow.
With that, she kisses you on the forehead and bustles out of the room. Like always, Anne has left you to manage things in the kitchen without her help. What do you do with this power? Negotiate for a vegetarian option. You hollow Aunt Anne in the crèche. You tell her that you're not serving the stew unless there's a vegetarian option. It's not right to force other people in the colony to eat meat if they're uncomfortable with the idea. She smiles broadly.
Of course, Sunshine! That's a wonderful idea. Why don't you get started on that other stew right now and make sure both pots are well labeled so everyone can make their own choice?
You made a lot more work for yourself, but you're sure it was the right thing to do. Cal often comes and finds you after work so you can hang out. Most of the time you get dinner together, then retreat back to the lounge for more relaxing. Even though you've been spending most of your free time rewatching the same Holovits, watching them again with Cal always makes it feel special. You're heading to bed when the sirens begin to wail, heralding the beginning of the yearly xenofauna attack. Outside your window, you see the soldiers begin to form up. This year, Moni is heading up with her own squad. You see her red hair bobbing along with the others as she rushes to defend the walls. Wait in your quarters. You close your windows and pull the covers over your head. Then you get a holocall notification from Marz. You join and find Marz, Tangent, Cal, Rex, and Nomi already in the call.
I can see everything from my bedroom window,
Marz says.
Nemi's got her own squad and everything now. Look at her go.
Cal makes a noise of discomfort, but doesn't voice his opinion. Suddenly, your room is rocked by an immensely loud shockwave. Then by a wall of heat you can feel even through your closed windows. Keepsakes rattle around on your shelves, some falling to the floor and shattering. Your holochat explodes with alarmed chatter.
What was that? Is everyone okay?
There was an explosion,
Marz exclaims.
I can see it. Part of the wall is missing. There's monsters pouring in.
Everyone starts talking in a panic. Tang's cool voice cuts in.
The explosion came from inside,
she says.
Congruence made the trajectory and damage calculations. The walls blew outwards, and there's fire damage on the garrison wall.
She's quiet for a few seconds. Then...
Dis, are you in the call? Are you safe?
There's no answer.
You don't think he was caught outside, was he?
Marz asks, but no one has an answer. You and your friends keep the call open and speculate on what's happening outside, supplemented by Marz's observations and Tangent's reading of Congruence's processes. Everyone is on the call except Vace and Moni, who are defending the colony, and Dis, of course. You can't shake the dark feeling you get when you think about him. As someone set a bomb inside the colony, near the garrison, you only know one person who could have done it. In the quiet following the battle, the colony comes out of hiding to gather in the courtyard surveying the damage. Governor Lum is on the warpath.
I'll find who did it, and I'll have their goddamn head.
He yells.
I want every single strato lined up and questioned. Those were our explosives. I want to know who set that goddamn bomb.
You and everyone from the Strato are hauled aside and questioned on your whereabouts prior to the attack. Everyone, that is, except Dis. He's nowhere to be found. Dead or alive.